Welcome back. Well, I think we're all ready for some holiday shopping in store, but are retailers? Joining me now to talk about how consumer shopping trends are changing this year and how retailers are using technology to keep up with the shifting demand and new expectations, Aki Devore, Vice President, IBM Public Cloud.
Hey, Audrey, thanks for having me.
My pleasure. So, what's changing this year and what are consumers doing to drive change?
Yeah, there's a greater focus than ever before on convenience, really allowing our shoppers to get what they need quickly and safely. And some will take a combined approach this holiday season, whether they're buying gifts online and shipping them to their homes, or buying them online and picking them up or in store or curbside. In many cases, these consumers are increasingly shifting to a digital first buying experience. Either way, as consumers return to stores and they continue to embrace online purchasing or do a mixture of both, they want a great and safe experience.
So, do you think retailers are expecting crowds at the door like we're accustomed to seeing on TV?
Yeah, I think it's going to be very unpredictable this year, right? I think it's going to be a mix. I think they're adjusting their strategies across the board, both in store and online, to meet consumers wherever they are. They're taking advantage of technology to improve the end-to-end customer experience, whether it's online, in person, or a combination of both. While a lot of unpredictability still remains about this holiday shopping season, I think it's clear that the impact of COVID-19 will alter the way that retailers build their strategies in the long term as consumers continue to transform the way that they shop as well.
I'm wondering how stores are going to manage given the restrictions on the number of people allowed in at any given time. So, how are retailers adjusting to and preparing for these trends and shifting demands?
Well, I think it's a great question. And you said it about, just how security and safety is going to be managed in these stores. I think first and foremost, there's an impact of hybrid cloud and, the access to information, whether that is in a public cloud, on-prem, or at a retail store, effectively allowing for better information fidelity across how consumers can take advantage of products wherever they may be, right? Hybrid cloud allows retailers to adapt to change as they occur in real time, whether it's a product becoming out of stock or whether there's a price action from a competitor. It really gives better flexibility and a more dynamic experience, meaning they can provide the best customer experience possible. And as Black Friday approaches later this week, consumers are gearing up to purchase perfect gifts for their loved ones while sales are still active, right? I know I'm doing the same as well, and I have my watch list.
So, let me ask you this hybrid cloud, most people are familiar with cloud computing and storage, and I think we've all used it. But when you speak specifically of a hybrid cloud, how are retailers using this cloud to keep themselves agile?
I think it's a great question, right? I think this whole idea of being able to, procure and have access to the entire supply chain, whether it's in a cloud, whether it's all part of that supply chain process, or whether it may be in a retail store remotely somewhere else, having that end-to-end data, having analytics, and having hybrid be able to enable some of that analytics at the point of sale, or wherever in a retail location it may be, that real-time access to information, the real-time access to being able to take, a competitive action if a price has been dropped on another competitor's website. That real-time data really allows for a better experience for buyers, and it really allows retailers to do a better job of placement of, their, inventory in the right locations to meet demand.
So, do you think that the pandemic has really allowed retailers or given them an opportunity to pivot to meet consumer demands?
Yeah, I absolutely believe, the transformation has started a few months before COVID even hit because people wanted to get in and out of stores quickly. But if you think about how technology has helped enable, this disruption during COVID, you asked earlier about just people in stores. So there are spatial technologies, there's artificial intelligence that's coming into play to ensure that, through video analytics, people actually have masks on when they enter a store, that there's the appropriate spacing in between individuals so that, as you reach max capacity, you're starting to, pull back on the number of people that can enter a physical location. All of these capabilities are significantly transformational in terms of not only ensuring a convenient experience, but also a safe experience for consumers.
Well, do you think people are going to miss that holiday rush of buying presents this year?
I don't think they're I don't think they're gonna give up on that, right? I think folks are gearing up all year, and I have a feeling they're gonna do it in a safer manner. But I still do think, you're gonna have, a pretty significant number of folks going out to retail stores because they're gonna do a lot of the prep ahead of time. but they're going to hit the stores in the physical locations, but they're going to be a lot more thoughtful and careful about it. And the retailers are also going to ensure that some of that safety and those mechanisms are in place to ensure everybody has a great experience.
So many changes in our lives. Aki, where can we go for some more information?
Yeah, for more information, please go to www.ibm.com/cloud.
Thanks so much for joining me. I have a feeling that you're going to be shopping online. Am I right?
I will. Thank you so much for having me.
It's my pleasure. There's more to come on Talk with Audrey. I'll be right back. This is Talk with Audrey. Welcome back. Well, the holiday shopping season is here, and the question is how, where, and when consumers will shop this year, and also what they're looking for in this really unpredictable time. Well, every year, the Cotton Incorporated Lifestyle Monitor survey asks buyers how they plan on tackling gift giving to offer brands and retailers a preview of their shopping intentions. Director of Consumer Market Research for Cotton Incorporated, Melissa Bastos, has the results of the survey. Welcome.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you joining me this holiday season. Were there any surprising results in this year's survey?
Well, I think this year, even more so than past years, all the shoppers are looking for some comfort and joy in not only the shopping experience, but also in the gifts that they're going to give and receive. So I think a little bit of surprise, but not really, is that we're expecting consumers to shop more online this year than in the past. And we also see them looking for more gift cards, to purchase more gift cards for their friends and family this year, but also we see clothing at the top of the list, that not only what they want to buy for friends and family, but what they would like to receive for themselves.
Comfort and joy. You almost had me breaking out in song, Melissa.
That's what we hope, right?
So, considering this COVID-19 pandemic, are consumers planning on shopping online or in store this season?
Well, we see a little bit of both, but 20% of our respondents said that they only plan to shop online, and that's because they feel that it's a safer option for them to be online shopping. We do see 44% say that they actually would like to go into the physical stores to shop, but they also want to feel safe. So they would like to see fellow shoppers wearing their masks and to have some social distancing in place from the retailers, and also some hand sanitizing stations so that they can feel comfortable this season. But I think mainly they want to be in the store because they say they want to touch and feel the clothing and the other products that they plan to buy. And they also want to smell and see the holiday sights.
Well, that makes absolute sense. What gifts are trending this year?
Well, yes, we definitely saw the increase in those planning to buy gift cards, which is certainly interesting. But, being away from family, for many people, this would be an easy option for them. But also clothing being at the top of the list, more than half plan to purchase that for their family. And we also see some toys and electronics falling a little farther down on the list. But in terms of receiving gifts, 57% of shoppers tell us they would like to receive clothing as a gift. And 6 out of 10 tell us that they'd like to receive a t-shirt, which is an interesting, comfortable option for them, being, working at home so much now. They can express themselves with the t-shirt, but they can also wear their jacket and be a little more professional when it comes to doing their Zoom calls, or, just trying to be comfortable and presentable overall.
And what do you think are going to be the most popular sales days? Is it going to be Black Friday or Cyber Monday?
Well, they both look like they're going to be popular days. What we see is that 48% of shoppers tell us that they will plan to be online shopping both Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And we also see that 49% say that if those stores are open on Black Friday, they would like to go in them and shop. We also see the brands and retailers really, they've kind of opened up their sales back in October. So, throughout the rest of this month and December, we'll see a lot of deals going on beyond just the Black Friday and Cyber Monday dates.
Well, I know that there are probably a lot of folks out there who are waiting for both days and getting in on those discounts. Where can we go for some more information and gift ideas?
Well, you can find some cotton-rich clothing ideas at thefabricofourlives.com. We do know that 8 out of 10 shoppers tell us that their preferred fiber for their clothing is cotton because they consider it to be most comfortable. But if you want more information and research around shoppers and what they plan to do this season, you can go to lifestylemonitor.cottoninc.com.
Melissa, thanks so much for joining me. Happy holidays.
Thank you. Happy holidays to you as well.
Thank you. And I'll be right back after this. Hi there, I'm Audrey Adams. Do you want to live a better, healthier, and more financially secure life? If so, then Talk with Audrey is for you. I talk to experts from a variety of fields. We'll talk about your financial life. We also delve into health and aging, and of course, business. You can get the benefit of all these interviews and so much more. Just watch Talk with Audrey right here. And if you need more information, either about me or the show, visit my website, talkwithaudrey.com. Tell your friends, your neighbors, your coworkers, everyone you know to join you in this pursuit of a better life. Watch Talk with Audrey. You're watching Talk with Audrey. Welcome back. The holidays are looking very different this year, and while we may not be able to celebrate the season in the same ways we usually do, one tradition remains the same, and that's giving back. Well, each year, Facebook's Giving Tuesday is celebrated on the Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Joining me now with more Giving Tuesday information, Caitlin Jankowski, the Social Impact Partner, Management Lead at Facebook.
Hi, good morning.
Hi there, good morning. And thank you so much for joining me on this giving time of the year. Let's talk about Giving Tuesday. How did it start?
Yeah, so Giving Tuesday started back in 2012 as a kind of global day of generosity to inspire people to come together and support the causes and the issues that matter the most to them.
And Giving Tuesday, quite honestly, could be every Tuesday of every single day of the week.
Could be.
I understand there are a lot of people struggling out there. Tell us about the plans for Giving Tuesday for this year.
Yeah, so this year's been a difficult year. I think one of the silver linings, though, has been the generosity and the compassion that we've seen people show one another directly on the platform. Giving Tuesday this year is, like you had mentioned, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, and Facebook will be matching $7 million of donations that are made on the platform that day to US-based nonprofits.
Well, how do people get involved? Do they go on to Facebook, and how do you actually find Giving Tuesday on the platform?
Yeah, going to Facebook is a great first start. So if you go to Facebook and you go to the search bar and you just type in fundraisers, you'll be able to start your own fundraiser for a cause that you care about. There's over 1 million nonprofits on the platform. So there's, whether you're supporting a local or a national organization, it's most likely there. And 100% of what you either raise or donate will go directly to the cause.
Well, that's pretty wonderful. So people can really get involved. Is there a limit on the amount that you can give on the platform?
So you can give up to a couple $1,000s on the platform, but it doesn't need to be large, right? You can give a small amount too. We had a 6-year-old girl this year who loved the Oakland Zoo and was sad to hear that it might be closing. And so she started her own campaign with the $5 that she had from the Tooth Fairy. So it doesn't need to be a big amount. It can be any amount.
Wow. Imagine learning at such a young age the importance of giving back.
Yes.
And so what if people want to give back, but they're not in a financial position to donate to charitable causes? Are there other ways to get involved?
Absolutely. Giving back isn't just about giving money. It can be about giving time. It can be about giving your talents, or quite honestly, just sharing a simple act of kindness on the platform. We have a bunch of different ways that people can get involved that isn't, monetary or financial, so to speak. We have something called community help on the platform, which if you go to Facebook again and you type community help into that search bar, you can learn more about it. But the amazing thing is you can either ask for help or offer help, and it connects people kind of in their own backyards together. We've seen people deliver groceries, baby necessities, different types of things. We're launching something new called drives. So you could actually get involved with or start your own clothing drive or food drive during this time of the year. You could actually find your local blood bank and decide that you want to donate blood for the holiday season. We have a Buy Black gift guide on the platform to help with some of your gifting needs that you might have. So there's lots of other ways that you can get involved.
Well, Facebook has connected to local communities as well. And I see a lot of opportunities for people to connect within their own neighborhoods. And that's a really terrific feature. So say it's after Giving Tuesday, it doesn't stop us from continuing to give, does it?
Not at all. Nope, not at all. All the things that we talked about are on the platform. all year long. And we've seen an amazing outpouring of support. A lot of the tools and the things that we're building now is in response to what we've seen people do on the platform, not just on Giving Tuesday, but any time of the year. So whether it's community help or starting a fundraiser or being connected to your local blood bank, doesn't need to happen on Giving Tuesday. You can do it at any time.
Okay, everyone. So remember, Giving Tuesday is the first Tuesday after Thanksgiving. Facebook is matching a total of $7 million in donations to U.S. nonprofits. So if you have a favorite, you might want to give on that day to help Facebook match that amount. And you can always give throughout the year on their other platforms and get involved in your own community. My guest has been Caitlin Jankowski, Social Impact Partner Management Lead for Facebook. Happy holidays, and thanks so much for joining me, Caitlin.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. You're watching Talk with Aubrey. There's some exciting medical news for patients with advanced cancer. It's a new blood test from Guardant Health. A first FDA-approved comprehensive liquid biopsy offers hope to cancer patients and their oncologists. Dr. Luis Reyes is with Memorial Cancer Institute, and his patient, Lynn Spadaccini, joined me with more. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Let me start with you, Dr. Reyes. Let's talk about some of the recent developments in treating patients with advanced lung cancer.
We do now personalized medicine because we have been able to discover some of the genes that are responsible of lung cancer. You know, lung cancer is not one disease, it's many diseases. And now that we know the genes, we have several target therapies, oral agents that can use for what we call, again, personalized medicine. And this has improved tremendously the survival and the quality of life of the patient with lung cancer.
And how has the prognosis for some lung cancer patients evolved during the past decade or so?
Since we discovered these oral agents and the genes that cause cancer, patients now can live several years with a much better quality of life and toxicity without the need to even start palliative chemotherapy that still works, but is secondary to the use of these targeted agents.
And what are some of the challenges when a doctor has to determine whether or not a patient's appropriate for these personalized treatments?
No, the most important thing in any new lung cancer patient is to do what we call the molecular profiling, the genetic analysis of the tumor. Traditionally has been done for the last 5 years in tissue, but tissue has some disadvantages because sometimes there is not enough tissue to do the molecular analysis. That's why we have now the FDA approval of liquid biopsies like Guardant Health and other platforms that allow us to do the genetic analysis in a blood sample that you can do many times as needed, and the patient can benefit this technology from a blood sample instead of the tissue analysis that takes 4 or 5 weeks. And as I said before, sometimes there is not enough tissue.
So a liquid biopsy can make it easier to test lung cancer patients?
Yes, because for when you do the traditional tissue analysis that we were doing for 5 years, you need to do a biopsy in the lung of the patient. If you do a liquid biopsy, you only do a blood draw, 10 to 20 cc's of blood, and then you can do the whole genetic analysis there.
Lynn, when you learned that your lung cancer had progressed to stage 4, what gave you hope?
I'm the kind of person that educates myself, so I had read quite a bit about lung cancer, and I realized that there were lots of treatments available out there, and so it gave me hope that I might be a person that would work, that therapy would work for.
And when you spoke with Dr. Reyes about your diagnosis, how did he identify the appropriate treatment for you?
Well, we did a blood biopsy with the Guardant 360, and we found that I had a mutation that could be targeted with a pill.
Wow, that's pretty amazing, isn't it? The advances in medicine are just incredible these days. So how are you doing?
I'm doing really well. I feel great. I can do just about anything I want to do. I walk, I hang out with friends. I feel good.
Dr. Reyes, what exactly is comprehensive genomic profiling or biomarker testing, and why is it crucial that all cancer patients be tested before starting treatment?
In lung cancer, we have 9 genes that can be targeted, that we have FDA-approved agents. So we need to look for all of these agents in each patient, in each new patient with lung cancer. And there are many other genes that we're doing clinical trials. So that's why when you do one of these liquid biopsies or tissue biopsies, we need to do a comprehensive test. And we're looking for 60, 70 genes. Some of them can use now, some of them we can use later for clinical trials, but the patient needs to have, every new patient needs to have this analysis so he can have the benefit of this information.
And so the use of blood tests for detecting the makeup of certain lung cancers has shifted the outlook for patients like Lynn.
Oh, tremendously, because now, thanks to the discovery of these oral agents, of these pills, patients can stay on these pills sometimes for years, and we still can use chemotherapy later, but the quality of life, the toxicity profile is great. You know, as you can see, Lynn is having a normal life.
Lynn, what advice do you have for others who might be facing a similar diagnosis?
I would start with finding a really good doctor or oncologist that knows about lung cancer, and then push that doctor, if the doctor doesn't suggest it him or herself, for the genetic profiling of your cancer, so that you know what kind of a cancer you have and if there's some sort of targeted therapy that might help you. I think it's important to educate yourself. And finally, I would say have hope. There's lots of new therapies out there, and with personalized treatment, you can live a normal life.
Thank you, Lynn, for sharing your story. This is an opportunity for people with lung cancer to hear directly from someone who's benefited from a new treatment option that might be helpful to improve the quality of their life.
Right. And I appreciate the opportunity to do that. Thank you.
Dr. Reyes, where can people go for more information?
For example, we are talking about the liquid biopsy. You can go to the Garden Health portal. There are other companies that offer liquid biopsy. There are other companies that offer tissue biopsies too. So, but the most important thing is to empower the patient to request the doctor to get a molecular analysis of their tumor for lung cancer and many other solid tumors.
And as always, check with your doctor or healthcare provider. Thank you both for joining me.
Thanks so much.
And that's it for this week. I'm Audrey Adams. Join me here next week for more insightful, intelligent, and inspiring conversations and information on Talk with Audrey. It's all about the business of living. I'll see you next week.